Hello and welcome to this video. I'm Hanna Jabbour, Technical Marketing Engineer Leader, part of ETD&R. In this video, we're going to look at how Cisco Email Threat Defense integrate into Cisco XDR. This is an update as of March 2024. On this integration, we're going to look specifically in this video on how it actually works. So we're going to start first by looking at a specific incident where we're going to see if there is email data being leveraged. In this actual list of incidents, you can see they are prioritized by actual priority, sorted in here. There is one specific incident that has some email data in it. I'm going to click on that specific incident. As soon as you click on the incident, you can see on the right side the different information, including the military attack tactics information that is actually coming from the integration itself, depending on the mapping of that specific detection to a tactic. And in this case, we're going to see initial access. You can see the short and long description that are generated by AI in a way that makes it more understandable by a human, and it's human readable with exact timing when this actual attack occurred. You could see in this long description all the actual timelines and information related to that specific detection and the assets involved. I'm going to click on View Incident Details. And this is where you can see more details about the incident itself. This incident is specifically to email, so we're going to look only on email. And in this case, you can see that is 172 users affected by this. It could be a spam actually, or a phishing attack that came in and was distributed internally. There is more than 171 email related to this, and with specific 15 file names attached to it. So you can see this information is actually displayed and correlated inside XDR. We can look at the different information in here at the bottom section. In this case, you can see some of those email subjects that we, for example, wireless security cameras. You can see the unknown users, the email subject information. So these are different observables in here. You could see the different email users, the actual unknown users in here. A lot of them are phishing, spam related to those specific users, and you can also see the email IDs and other information. So this was all correlated into one place, and you can see the detection that are coming from email threat defense. So email, whether reported as phishing, as malware. So those are different type of detections inside Cisco email threat defense. And there is also Cisco XDR contributing based on information coming from email threat defense. So all of this is actually correlated together. We can look at the detection section. It happened that this event is all, or incident is all related to information coming from email related detections, either from email threat defense or from the XDR analytic piece. In this case, you can see those are the sources, and you can see by also the type, if it's original or investigated. So some of them could be investigated after we found out an actual incident. So in this case, all of them as part of the original detection, which was created an incident based on an attack chain. You can see all of those emails detections at any point in time. You can click on those actual events and you can see the details. The relationship are kept. For example, in this case, you could see the observable, which is a user exchanged with postmaster, this actual email, and contains this actual video cam information. All of those are actually being seen and kept. Information relationship between the different actual observables. And you can see the indicators, the asset related to it, all the observables in here, the email sources, the subject, the email IDs, the attachments, if any, and everything in here. You could also see the long and short description about the detection itself. So it's a suspicious email security finding, and it's associated with this specific alert, which is the alert that we have seen inside XDR analytics. So this is the first contribution of actual email threat defense into Cisco XDR, which is related to the incident creation. We can look also at the response section. So in the response section, you could do containment. In the containment, you can actually select, for example, to execute on file hashes. You could choose the file hashes you want to actually contain and click execute to contain those file hashes inside your environment. Other ways to respond is whenever you see an observable, next to these observables, there is a small tick that you can use to actually pivot into the menu to do responses. As you can see, we recognize that this is an email subject, and you could do actions with ETD, like search for emails or even quarantine those messages across your environment. This is how you can actually respond by doing a manual trigger into the actual ETD integration. Other type of things you could leverage with ETD integration is the fact you can launch investigations. When doing an investigation, you can investigate on a file hash, you can investigate on an IP, domain, or others. And then the actual investigation, we're going to launch into investigating all the integrated solution. In this case, I've shared search a specific file hash where you can see which email it comes from, which actual email address are involved, the different actual judgments on information that comes with that specific file hash. You could see URLs that are, for example, considered malicious by Talos and other information. And you could also see when these information occurred, these events in time. And you could look also at the specific events. You could see here some of those events come from an actual email in ETD, and you get all the information related to that and the observables, as well as their relations and the different URLs, email addresses, and if there is users also, you could see some of those in there. So this is what you can see with ETD from an investigation perspective. To recap, with email threat defense and XDR integration, we have seen three types of contributions. First, incident creation, where actual detections from email threat defense contribute into incident creation and alert chaining when there is a possibility for that, depending on the severity and the actual connection of that event with other events coming from different sources. The second is enrichment, where investigation can be triggered automatically from an incident or manually by the analyst to actually investigate specific information that could come from ETD, including file hashes, emails, and others. And of course, doing responses that could be done manually from the analyst, from the response itself, or from an observable, or actually automated within the automation section, which we did not demo in this actual session. Things to note about ETD integration with XDR. First of all, not every detection is going to become an incident. That's to be expected, and it's by design. This is the behavior when you can actually, there is information that's actually pulled from ETD that could contribute into incident creation. ETD shares information with XDR on an hourly basis on email that were convicted, and they can be convicted based on phishing, on business email compromise, on machine learning detections, or basically also on spam. Data is being deassembled and reassembled. This is something to note. Information from ETD, when it comes to XDR, is actually being deassembled and reassembled in order for us to actually use it inside XDR. So that means does not mean actually that any data will be lost. The data from email threat defense will be conserved when we are transforming it to another format. Another thing to note is time to process. Of course, the data comes hourly from ETD into XDR, and it's being deassembled, analyzed, and reassembled. That means there is some time to actually trigger an incident if needed based on email threat defense detection inside XDR. Finally, hopefully this video has been informative for you guys and useful. Tune in for other videos.